Welcome back to another episode of Goat Worthy Reactions, where we mainly like to focus on the goats on this channel. But on this episode, we're going to be focused on a unicorn. Because one of my cool fans, man, well, really he's a renegade, he's a REN fan, who found his way to my page. He said in the land of goats, REN is a unicorn. I thought that was so cool, man. I think I've said it in like 3 videos already, but it just really stuck with me because I feel like it's been proven to be true the more and more I keep reacting to REN. So this video, this is the 1 million subscribers video y'all kept asking for. Y'all spamming me with this one. So this one's not going to be a part of the, he has a piano behind him. So I hope he's not about to start singing and stuff, because I'm not making this an episode. This is just like one of the side shows. And then just, by the way, I'm going to be doing that a lot with REN and his journey. I'm going to be putting out other REN reactions on YouTube that aren't a part of the documentary, which is called Making-A-RENegade. If you haven't caught up with it yet, go to my page. I got about 7 episodes out right now, and 5 are on YouTube and 2 are on Patreon. So if you want to catch the whole entire series, the whole season, it's going to be on the Patreon. But I'm going to be putting out a lot of stuff on YouTube, don't worry. So let's get it. This is the 1 million subscribers video, defining success.
I want to keep this short and sweet because I wrote something that I want to share with you. But first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am. I've reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is a flipping huge milestone. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while.
Hey, I just reached 10,000 subscribers, so I'm about 2 zeros behind you. But listen, we making our way, and I'm not as proud as you are about this million. But hey, listen, I reached my 10, and I'm feeling good about it. And you know, next step, 20K. We'll see how fast we can get there. Hopefully before the end of the year, we can get to 20K. My goal was to hit 10K by December, and we've reached that by September, so I'm happy. This ain't about me, though.
I wanted to say thank you to the YouTube reaction community who have gotten behind my stuff in a big way and really helped me reach this goal.
Yeah, my fault. I don't want to pause this. I'm going to let him get his rocks off because I can tell he's about to get into an emotional state mentally, but yeah, shout out to the react. Oh, damn, shout out to REN, thanking the reactors. Not me, because he hit this before I was reacting, but hey, we're reacting now. Better late than never.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I wanted to read this passage that I wrote about success. It's too much for me to remember right now, so bear with me. But yeah, success to me means that I have a responsibility that transcends me. If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was a rising tide lifts all ships.
I keep seeing that in my comment section. I keep seeing that in my comment. My bad, I didn't mean to pause. I'm going to let him say this whole thing, and then I'm going to give my commentary after. But a rising tide lifts all ships. Yeah, I like that too. Okay, so this is where it came from. This is where y'all quoting it from.
More important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was a rising tide lifts all ships. Somehow, by finding success for myself has meant that I can find success for the people around me, and that makes me feel very rich. I'm in a very strange position right now where I owe much of my success to the most destructive force in my life, which has been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has by far brought me the most pain has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy.
Wow.
Creating art which means something to somebody else and can potentially be a companion to somebody else in the dark justifies my own pain, and I desperately needed that to be justified. There are a lot of people alive today who live in the dark. It's a place that I'm very familiar with. In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialize, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day.
Get through it, boy.
But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day, don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a certain, to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency makes me know that you won't hurt forever, whether that comes from resolution of what you're going through or acceptance of where you are. You won't hurt forever. You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. It definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a catalyst for filling you with empathy. So stand strong, my friends, and don't let the darkness consume you, because once you know the dark and become intimate with it, you become very capable of wielding the light. You could be instrumental for changing this world for the better. There's nothing humble about shrinking or doubting yourself because you are large. You can be ferocious and you could be magnificent.
Yeah.
For the medical industry, who too often let people fall through the cracks, it's your duty to do better. For the people living in the light, who have either stepped out of their shadow or have never had to walk beside it, it's your responsibility to put out untainted love. Our own greed, desire to ferociously expand, and decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us, ultimately hurting ourselves. So we really must consider that if we're going to step into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away. So community, humanity, and changing our relationship with the natural world so it leans more towards homeostasis must be a priority. Priority number one. If you're watching this and there's a knot tied up in your stomach with bitterness, anger, or hatred for your fellow human being, be with it. Feel it. Understand it. Express it. And then let it go. You're hurting. Give yourself love. Forgive yourself. And then project that love outwards, and the anger will pass. We have a decision in every interaction to the world towards heaven or hell, towards Jannah or Jahannam, utopia or dystopia. And some people's ideas of heaven will be another's image of hell. So tread carefully, but treat those differences with respect. Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety in the sum of their parts. Thank you to 1 million people inside this rich tapestry for the opportunity for me to try and spread my own vision of what I believe to be good. And thank you for justifying my pain. Thank you. I love you.
That was nice. That was nice of him to do. My main takeaway from that is how the title's called 1 million subscribers, and he mentioned the 1 million subscribers once in the end and a little bit in the beginning, right, when he first started, but he didn't actually mention the 1 million subscribers until the very end, because this wasn't about hitting 1 million subscribers. Nah, this is a testament to his resilience, man. The fight he faced every single day behind the music, you know, the milestones as a storyteller, man. He's relentless, man. Perseverance against a medical system that failed him and so many people like him. He speaks for those people. For years, REN struggled with chronic illness and just misdiagnosis and treatments that often made him feel worse instead of better. It's a battle that left him unheard or unseen, and sometimes just, I guess, hopeless, right? Fighting not just for his health, but dude was fighting for his voice, for his art. This isn't a story about an artist reaching 1 million subscribers, you know? It's about a person who's been through the darkest of times, where each day to him might have felt like a struggle just to get up, just to keep moving around throughout the day. But REN's journey the more that I'm learning about it, it speaks for anyone who felt let down by those who were supposed to help, by a medical field that too often overlooks or misunderstands chronic conditions. His music became his outlet now. So it's his way of reclaiming control when everything else felt out of reach. You know, he questioned his expiration date every day. He didn't know how much time he had left. He was being told the worst through proof of medication. When that video was only 5 minutes long, I don't know why that felt like an eternity to me. I felt like that video was mad long, and it was 5 minutes long. He said, "Be with it." That was deep. I like that. When he spoke about the hatred you might have for another human being, be with it, understand it, get through it, express it, and let it go. Let it be behind you. And then when he thanks his supporters, it's not just a generic ass gratitude. It's deeply personal. You can tell. It's very personal. For every person who saw beyond the illness, right? Who resonated with his pain, who lifted him up when the system let him down. His success, not just his success is not just his own, and he recognizes that. You know, it's a shared victory between him and all his renegades and all his fans, all the creators, all the reactors. And for anybody who's probably felt trapped in their own body, going through the shit he had to go through, dismissed by doctors, you know, left to navigate their own pain alone. Come on, can you imagine the shit he was going through? And all he wanted to do was to express his art and be quote unquote normal. As he was reading his patches though on success, it's impossible not to feel the weight of his words. Impossible. Because it was clear that this wasn't about achieving a milestone, right? That's what I was saying in the beginning. Like, he barely even mentioned the 1 million subscribers. It was about triumphing over a freaking lifetime of challenges that many of us can barely imagine. I cannot imagine the shit he was going through. The weight loss and the misdiagnosis. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine the shit he was going through? His journey should be a reminder that success doesn't come easy. And often it's those who struggle the hardest who shine the brightest. Once they get through, they shine. I think about Eminem's story. I know this isn't about Eminem, but I am a stan. The shit he been through, he's had a terrible upbringing as well. A struggle come up. It was terrible for him. For anybody who knows the story, and I can relate it to Ren. Listening to Ren speak, I couldn't help but like feel like my eyes were starting to water up, if I'm being honest. So I had to pause for a second to regroup, because I'm not gonna be crying on camera. But it wasn't about sadness for me, nah, not at all. But more from a profound sense of joy and pride. You know, pride in Ren. You know, for never giving up. Pride in his community, right? That stands with him. All the renegades that stand with him. He's got an army of people who would just, if he's ever feeling down bad, he can get on this camera, go live, talk to them. And there's going to be millions of voices who are going to attempt to uplift his spirits. Imagine having that kind of support. But anybody who's been through the shit he's been through deserves that. They deserve that kind of support. They deserve more than that. and it's gonna continue to grow. He's at 1.61 million subscribers. Huh? It's only gonna grow from here. You know, y'all stand with him. We all stand with him. I stand with him as well. And there's joy in knowing that his voice, that was once silenced temporarily by illness, now resonates with millions. What kind of story is that? It's not just his own. It's a beacon of hope for anyone that is fighting their own battles presently right now, or something similar, and letting you know that we're never alone in our own struggles. You know, we're never alone. I'm glad, you know, I'm just happy Ren has music. I really am. I'm happy he has music, man, because I resonate deeply with Ren's story, because I've had my own battles fighting off my own demons that try to reclaim my soul. You know, I was surrounded by a world that told me that there was nothing more for me, and I would always be a product of my environment. You know, I grew up below the poverty line, me and my family. You know, I was surrounded by gang culture and drug dealers, some of which that were in my home every day. And that was like my only examples of what I can truly become, what was realistic. So for years, it felt like I was destined to be stuck in that cycle. But faith pulled me through, man. Reminded me that I was made for more. Even now, sometimes I can't believe I made it out. I'm here with my beautiful family, my wife, my daughter, living a life I once thought was out of reach. It's crazy when I sit back and think about it, y'all. I think about all the times I almost lost my life getting into activities that weren't made for me. Ren's fans showing up for me too. Nearly 3,000 of my 10 subscribers are renegades. Nearly 3,000. And I've only done 7 episodes. I've only done 5 public episodes on YouTube. So that shows you the strength in numbers, right? 3,000 of my 10,000 subscribers came from his community. I'm so grateful. You know, watching Ren celebrate his 1 million subscribers feels personal, because I just celebrated, not really celebrated, but I just kind of celebrated my first 10,000, and his fans were a huge part of that. And I see you, and I appreciate every single one of you who's joined me on this journey. It's a fun journey. It's an emotional journey. It's a roller coaster. It's unpredictable. You know, it is. It's unpredictable. And as I think of Ren and his incredible journey, I'm just reminded of a verse that speaks to me so profoundly in this situation specifically. It's short. It's not much. I know a lot of people aren't religious, and I'm not trying to be on that right there. But you know, I had Bible study last Friday, and I have to pull it up because this is for Ren. So it's just ironic that we just went over this last Friday, but I feel like it really speaks to Ren. You know, it's short, but it speaks to Ren. I think it's something dope for him to hear, and I feel like one day he might hear it. You know what I'm saying? One day he might hear it, but I'm like, my hand's shaking. My hand's shaking. I'm acting like Ren's really watching this right now. So, for I will restore health to you. And your wounds I will heal, declares the Lord. That's all. And and I just want y'all to know he's gonna be all right, because he's out here doing God's work. If you ask me, I know he's not religious or whatever, but he's out here doing the Lord's work. And Ren, you have a purpose, my brother, on this earth, and every day you live it out, man. You've been through fire, and you've come out shining, brighter than before. And I want to thank you, Ren. I do. And thank you all that are watching, because we keep lifting each other up. Be kind, be loving, be better, and try your hardest. Take accountability. Acknowledge your complicity. And apply all of your experience to your next choice. Because you can make a better choice. You can make a better choice. $1 million subscribers. Congratulations. And we are out.